Okay, so guys, in the last lesson, we have already completed all the syllabus, yeah, for your Form 5 lah. So there are total 5 chapters, okay, for your Form 5. So it's all completed already, okay. So for today's lesson, yeah, I'm not really intended to teach you anything new, So today lesson, basically, I want to talk about three things lah. Number one, today I will suggest some of the flow that you can use when you are doing your revision. So when we do revisions, there is a flow that can make the revisions a bit more effective. Number two, I would like to talk a little bit about how you can do your planning, how you can plan out your revision. Number three, so today we are going to do a very quick summary and also a wrap up on your Form 5, since we already completed all the 5 chapters. So I'll tell you what are those important things for each chapter. Bear in mind, not tips. So I'm not talking about tips. I'm not telling you what will be tested in SPM. So we are doing a final wrap up before we move on with your Form 4 revision by next week lah. Yeah, by next week, when we are heading to September, we are going to do a Form 4 revision. So first and foremost, okay, many students, they have the idea, okay, the understanding is quite okay, but when you come to answering techniques, they are quite bad with it. Okay, so let me show you something. For example, like this. Okay, and I would like you all to actively participate. Just try to answer, even though your answer might be wrong, it doesn't matter. Okay, let me show you a very simple questions here. Okay, and I would like to hear from you. Okay, the first question. So if let's say in your SPM, if let's say this year, 2026, in your SPM, you get a question, they ask you what is mean by nucleon number. So guys, what will be the answer? Come on, let's try to do this. Give me a complete answer. Just assume that you are getting this question in your SPM. What will be the answer that you will submit? Come on, let's try this. What is the meaning of nucleon number? Okay, good. I saw a lot of messages coming in, which is very good. Okay, so guys, first of all, you must know what nucleon number is what? Nucleon number is in your in your atom, there is a middle part. This middle part called nucleus. In the nucleus, you have proton and neutron. The total number of proton and neutron is called nucleon number. Okay, so let me tell you one of the common answer for many students. Okay, quite a lot of students, they will do this. Okay, they will say, okay, nucleon number is the total. Okay, nucleon number is the total number. Okay, total number of protons. Okay, hold on. Okay, total number of protons. Okay, hold on. How come I couldn't do this? Okay, total number of new protons and neutrons in the nucleus of an atom. Okay, so this should be the proper answer. Total number of proton and neutron in the nucleus of an atom. Okay, what is a common mistakes by many students here? So a lot of students forget to put nucleus. Even some students, they put nucleus, but they didn't mention atom. So you all have to be careful. Okay, Nuclear number is the total number of proton, not total number of proton number. I saw some of you write total number of proton number. No, total number of protons and neutrons in the nucleus of an atom. So this will be your proper answer. So you can check my answer and check your answer. You see what is missing. Huh? Okay. It is very common that some miss out the nucleus, some miss out the atom. Okay. So you have to be careful. But for this group so far, the answer that I saw in chat box, most of you are doing quite well. Most of you are doing quite well. Okay. If you don't want to use the word total, you can change with another word sum. The sum of number of protons and the neutrons in the nucleus of an atom. Okay, because I think if you're following my class for a while, I told you before that chemistry are very particular in the way they mark the paper, isn't it? Among 3 science subjects, chemistry, they mark the paper super strictly. Sometimes even if you miss out one keywords, you lose all the marks already. Okay, so that's nuclear number. Second one, write the electron arrangement for ion P. So you have to be careful. Sometimes in chemistry, what make a difference is the word ion and atom. Yeah, sometimes ion and atom, they are different. Okay, 1 minute revision. What is atom? Atom means they are neutral. They don't have any charges. They don't combine with anything. They are alone. Ion means they must be positive or negatively charged. And to get ion, they must donate or receive electron, isn't it? Okay, example. So this is your P. Your P got 11 proton. So when the substance is neutral, the number of protons should same as electron, isn't it? So 11 protons should have 11 electron. So if you all write 281 is wrong. 281 is correct if the question asks you all to write electron arrangement for atom P. So if they want atom, then yes, it's 281. But this question, they ask for ion, yeah? They ask for ion. So what is ion? So remember, to become ion, somebody must donate or receive electron. So why a chemical substance want to donate or receive electron? They want to be stable. So when I have one valence electron, am I stable? No. So what is the easiest way to be stable here? I can receive 7 electron to become 288, or I can donate 1 electron become 28, right? Common sense, which one is easier? Donate, right? So if I got 1 valence electron, I will donate 1 electron away to become 28. And when P donated 1 electron, they become P plus, and I became the ion. So if I want electron arrangement for ion is 28. If I want electron arrangement for atom P, then is 281. Can you see? Sometimes if you are careless, you don't see the word ion, then everything GG, everything gone case. So you have to be very careful with the details. Okay, being attentive to small details are really, really important. Okay, so done. So guys, let me know in the chat box, are you okay with the definition and electron arrangement of atom and ion? So I just want you to know that your theory might be okay, but just because sometimes you forget to write one words or you didn't realize the differences between atom and ion and you lost the marks without knowing, which is a bit wasted lah. Okay. Okay, now let me talk about last thing before I start with our session today. Okay, so the last one, you need to draw atomic structure for the element R. Okay, this is one thing that a lot of students always mess up. Okay, many students always mess up atomic structure as well as electron arrangement. Okay, sometimes they will ask you all to draw electron arrangement. Sometimes they will ask you all to draw atomic structure. So you all really need to know what the questions want. Okay, let's talk about electron arrangement first. Element R has 12 proton, so you have 12 electron. So 12 electrons should be 282. Okay, I want you all to be careful with the placement of electron. Example, if you have the electron 2.4, many of you will draw like this. 1, 2, okay, 4 electron. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you know this is wrong? You cannot draw 4 electron like this. Cannot. Okay. So what is the proper answer? If 2.4, you should draw like this. Okay. I'm not sure whether you all aware or not. Why? Okay. Always remember, electron, they are negatively charged. So electron and electrons, they don't want to pair with each other if possible, because I am electron, I am negatively charged, you are electron, you are also negatively charged. So electron, they repel each other, so they try not to stay next to each other. Okay, so imagine, so today if I got 4 electron, okay, so the first electron come in, you can put any places you want. Second electron must stay far away from this. Okay, imagine this electron, they are someone you hate. You go in, are you going to sit next to the person you hate? No. You want to stay as far as possible away from the person you hate, right? So where is the furthest distance from this person you don't like? Opposite, right? Opposite is the furthest. You put here, still not far enough, right? This is the furthest one. Then the third people come in. Third people come in. Okay. I don't like this person. I don't like this person. I want to stay far away from these two person. Here. True not? Then the fourth person go in. So imagine if you put in 8, if you want to put in 2.8, the 8 electron is not like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The proper sequence should be, if you put 8 electrons, should be, let's say 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5 can be any places. You can be here, can be here, can be here, can be here. Is okay? 6, opposite, 7 and 8. So today, if you draw the electron 2.6, don't draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Don't do that. I know some of you will do that. Don't do that. So 6 electron, how to draw? Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So watch out. This thing, a lot of people until SPM, the day itself, still don't know. So you have to be careful. Okay. Anyway, let's come back to what we want to do today. Okay. So now let's have a look. So electron arrangement 282. So you must draw 3 circles. Okay. First circle put 2 electron. Second circle put 8 electron. And then the third circle, the 2 electron cannot put next to each other. Must far away like this. Okay. And when you draw electron arrangement, don't forget to draw a nucleus. So some school tell you that nucleus need to do some shading. No, don't ever do that. Nucleus never need to do any shading. No need one. Just draw a circle, and the circle don't put any electron, and that is a nucleus. So this is our electron arrangement. Should you put like this? This is R. Should you put the R inside? Optional. You put or don't put also can. You put no extra mark, you don't put, they won't penalize you. So this is for electron arrangement. But what about atomic structure? So for atomic structure, you not only need to draw the electron arrangement. Atomic structure, inside the atom, okay, inside atom, what you have? Proton, neutron, and electron. So atomic structure got proton, neutron, electron. So atomic structure basically same as electron arrangement. The only difference is that in the nucleus, you need to label how many proton, how many neutron you have. Okay, how to know the proton and neutron? Look at here. The proton number is 12. So I know R got 12 proton. Okay, the nucleon number is 24. So we know nucleon number is proton plus neutron, right? Is 24. So when the proton got 12, so neutron obviously also 12. So you have 12 proton and 12 neutron. So here you need to write 12 proton, 12 neutron in the nucleus. So I really, really hope that you all know the differences between electron arrangement and atomic structure. Trust me, guys, this is very easy, but many students do wrongly. I always see that. The question one, atomic structure, but many students draw electron arrangement. The question one, electron arrangement, many students draw atomic structure. You really need to know this thing, huh? So guys, let me know in the chat box, are you okay with the differences between atomic structures and electron arrangement? Okay, so why I kickstart today's lesson with this question? To be honest, okay, to be honest, is this question hard? No, right? This question is quite easy, but many students cannot score. Not because they don't know, just because of some small mistakes, some careless mistakes, okay? That's what I keep telling you all, if you follow my class all the while, I say, knowing theory doesn't guarantee you can score. At the end of the day, you need to be good in answering techniques, okay? And answering techniques, which we are learning all the way since Form 4. If you follow my class since Form 4, we have been doing the answering techniques since Form 4. Every time after we learn the theory, we do exercises. Okay? You cannot expect, okay, you just attend a seminar 2 hours and you will learn all the answering techniques. Guys, common sense. If attending a 2-hour seminar, you will learn all the answering techniques, then no point lah. You study so hard for Form 4 and Form 5 for 2 years, right? There's no way something you spend 2 years to study can be all summarizes in 2 hours, right? It doesn't make sense, okay? So answering techniques has no shortcut. I keep telling you all, you need to be, if you want to be good in answering techniques, like it or not, you have to do exercise. Yeah, you have to start doing exercise. Just starting. Don't think so much. Just start first, okay? Don't wait until the perfect moment to start. Many students say, oh, I have to wait until I finish all the revision, all the chapters, only do the question. No need lah. You keep waiting, you won't do one, okay? Just start first, okay? All right. So this is why I start with this thing, okay? I just want to tell you that understand theory and able to score is not the same. So the answering techniques, keywords, okay? What are the keywords to be written? Atom, ion, sometimes one small differences, okay, will create a different result, okay? So now, let me share something with you. Remember, today I'm not going to teach you anything, okay? So I cannot let you understand all the Form 4 and Form 5 thing in 1.5 hours. No way, So today we just want to explore together some of the study techniques. Again, everyone, disclaimer. What I tell you today, just a suggestion. I just suggest to you some of the techniques that you can use. But at the end of the day, there is no perfect study techniques. There is no perfect study skill in the world, okay? Everyone is unique in their own way. So you always can adopt other people's method, then you can modify accordingly to suit your own study style. You got it? Today you go to copy bulat, the study skill, the study timetable for top students in your school. It doesn't mean you can do it one, okay? Because everyone study differently. So you always need to adjust yourself, see which method suit you even more. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, so I would like to suggest you all, okay, always start with a proper planning or timetable. More than 70% of students, they have no timetable when they study. More than 70, even up to 80%, they study quite impromptu. They study spontaneously. Yeah. Today got mood, study a bit more. Tomorrow break up with boyfriend, study no mood. The day after tomorrow break up with girlfriend, no mood to study. It's very hard one, okay? So that's why some people say, sir, I got no time to study. But everyone got 24 hours. Fair enough, right? I always use this example. The number one person in your school and the one who ranked last in your school got 24 hours in a day. Same one, fair enough. So it's all about how you make good use of time. If you never have a timetable, you not even know what are the times that you are occupied, what are the times that you are free, isn't it? So at least I hope after today's sessions, for those of you who never do timetable before, at least you set up a proper timetable lah. Okay, at least you set first lah. Okay, of course the timetable you can adjust afterward. One, be flexible. You can be flexible. You know to say you set a timetable, you must really follow and cannot change one. You can change accordingly one. Understand? So at least you set out a timetable on Monday. Okay. So from what time to what time I go to school, after the school, between my tuition, what are the time I have? At least you set out a timetable, then only you can see the big picture. Then from there, you can find, oh, now I got a slot of 30 minutes. Now I got a time block of 1 hour. What I want to do with all this time. You can definitely do that. Okay. And second thing, okay, you can start by reading. Okay, you can read and understand the concept. So no problem, you can read one. But what is important is that after reading, it will be good if you can do an active recall. Yeah, if you can do the active recall, because okay, a lot of students okay, they have no idea at all. Yeah, they have no idea at all. Okay, what they read, whether they understand or not, isn't it? Whether they understand or not, you have no idea at all. Okay, so I think in that way, so let's say today you set a simple target. Okay, let's say I set a target. Okay, by this week. Okay, by this week. Okay, I need to revise on carbon compound, and I just want to focus to read on alkane and alkene, for example. So after you read your alkane and alkene, okay, if possible, take a piece of paper, ask yourself what you read so far, alkane. Okay, what you read so far, or alkane, the functional group, carbon-carbon, single bond. General formula, CnH2n plus 2. Alkane is called saturated hydrocarbon. Yeah, alkane can undergo combustion. So when you burn, you get complete or incomplete combustion. For example, so at least after you read, you directly do active recall. Then you have the idea like, oh, what I read so far. Because if you only do reading, that is a passive way of learning. Okay, got input, no output one. But a good study should be got input and got output. So what is output? Output means you're able to explain what you are learning. Maybe you can explain to yourself. Maybe you can explain to your friends, whatever. At least you can give some output. Or else you just keep feeding you all with input, input, input. You read a lot. You have no idea what is happening one. And these study techniques, these study techniques is not only applicable for chemistry, it's also applicable for those subjects that require you to know some facts. Example, okay, let's take some example for biology. So I didn't touch biology for 20 years, but I still roughly know something. Like example, in biology, I'm not sure whether you still learn the same thing or not. So we used to learn about human skeletal system. So let's say you study about human skeletal system, okay? So you can draw a simple picture, okay? You can draw a simple picture like this. Okay, this is my pelvis. This is my femur, okay? This is like my patella, okay? This is my, I hope still remember, tibia, fibula, okay? I'm not sure whether still the same, I didn't touch bio for 20 years, okay? I hope I still remember all this thing. You get the idea or not? Okay. Active recall. Okay. Take a piece of paper after you study, you write it up like this. Okay. It will help you to recall back those knowledge. Hey guys, do you still learn bones now in biology? Do you still learn this? The human skeletal system. Do you still learn this? I don't know. I didn't touch my bio for 20 years. Okay. I hope all these are correct. I hope all these are still correct. Yeah. I didn't touch bio for long times already. Yeah. So yeah, this is one of the way here, because if you only go by pure reading, you have no idea at all whether you understand or not whatever thing you read. Okay, so that is something that I would like to share with you. Okay, so And guys, you don't feel like today we are completely wasting the time, because although I didn't teach you any concept, but having a proper study technique is so important. Because if you study in the wrong techniques, you will realize that it's not effective one. So study effectively is important, especially when you feel that you are running out of time. Seriously, okay? So this is called active recall, or we call feedback learning. So after you learn something, okay, after you learn a subtopics, directly do exercise. You don't wait until I finish the whole revision for entire Form 4. Okay, then only do your exercise. Too late already. Example, you can do like this one. Today, I do a revision on empirical formula. After I finish empirical formula in the same week, for example, not necessarily same day, I can do some exercises on empirical formula. It's okay, what? I don't need to wait until I finish the whole chapter 3. I don't need to wait until I finish the whole Form 4. Then only I do exercise. No need one. Okay, after finish a subtopics, you can do some exercise already. After finish the subtopics, you can do exercise already. Is it okay? Okay. And always start from simple question, then only go with K bar. Okay. Because we are human, we give up easily. We lost momentum easily. So if you directly start with the hard questions, you will demotivate yourself. So always start with a simple question. So once you can do the first question, you will have the momentum to try the second one. When you can do the second one, you will get the to try the third one, and so on. So always start from the simple question first. Okay. And again, if you want to do question, always do good quality question. For those who follow me for some time, you should know what do I mean by good quality question. Don't waste your time on reference book exercises. Don't waste your time on textbook exercises. I didn't say they are bad. They are okay, but they are not really helpful for you to get exposed to proper format question. So past year question, trial exam paper, they are the best. So if you want to do trial exam paper, of course, the best one will be this year one. You are in year 2026. Of course, it's best for you to do the trial exam paper from 2026 lah. You can do other state lah. Let's say you're from Perak. So you can do, you already taken your paper for Perak ma. You can do the trial exam paper from KL, from Selangor, from Kelantan, and so on, isn't it? Okay, those are the things. And I would like to talk about this. Okay, don't think too much at the moment first. Always break a big target into something small and achievable. Example, if you think, oh, I want to study the whole chapter 2, okay, in 1 week. I want to study the whole chapter 2 in 2 weeks. You might find it a bit stressful, isn't it? But if let's say you break it down into some small steps, okay, let's say in this week, I want to spend, let's say, 3 hours for chemistry. I want to split in 3 days, okay? So maybe for the first 1 hour, okay, I want to do revisions on alkane and alkene. For the second hour, on the other day, I want to revise on alcohol and alkyne. Then on the third hour, I want to revise on carboxylic acid and ester. So you don't think that, oh, generally, something too general. I want to revise chapter 2. But chapter 2, so many things, so many subtopics, what you want to do. Is okay? So when you break down a big target into something small, it's more achievable and you feel less stressful. Okay? And if you follow my class, I tell you all the time, don't rely on tips, okay? Because this is something that worry me, okay? Because I believe that some of you somehow get tips for your trial exam, and the trial exam tips normally are really accurate one, okay? And you feel good about it. Oh, trial exam got tips, very good, and somehow really accurate. And you think the same thing will repeat again for SPM? No, no, okay? Not really. Okay, so please, okay, no matter how accurate is your trial exam tips, don't expect the same thing. The only tips that you can believe for your SPM is Amali, your paper 3. Amali tips are quite accurate one normally. Okay, other than that, nothing else. All other tips, don't ever believe in it lah. Okay, so this is the one I say, when you're answering question, keyword is important. So if you can imagine what is happening, it's easier, especially for chemistry. Chemistry, you are studying something that you couldn't see, isn't it? So if you cannot imagine, it's hard. That's why if you follow my class, I told you, right? Force of attraction, imagine they are holding their hand together. So we want to break it apart. So when you have all these kind of visualization, is easy. And last one, this is the one I keep telling you all, planning. Yeah, planning. Without proper planning, you will feel that your time is not enough. If you plan your time, if you really do some planning, you have time to do so many things. And guys, you don't need to study 24/7, you don't need to study 6 hours a day. No need one. Okay, you study 1 hour per day is okay. You study 2 hours per day is okay. Don't compare yourself with others. You don't feel bad when your friends study 4 hours and you only study 1 hour. It's okay one. Everyone have different learning style. It's okay one. Even by now, you want to do your sport, you want to play with your computer games, you want to play your sport, it's okay one. Not to say, oh, now it's near to SPM, I cannot play basketball, I cannot play badminton, I need to study every day. No lah, you still can do anything you like as long as you keep it balanced. In fact, I encourage you all to do all the sports or anything you like to release your stress. Yeah, you keep on being so tense up, study 6 hours a day, you become super stressful one. No point for that. Okay. For me, the important thing is you study effectively. If let's say you study 6 hours, only the first 2 hours you can focus. The last 4 hours you lost focus already. You're wasting your time actually. Yeah. So you don't think study long time, study for long duration must be good. Not really. Do you study effectively or not? Let's say after you study 6 hours, you take a piece of paper, I ask you what you study. Trust me, most of you can't even write down what have you studied, but you spend 6 hours, bro. You spend 6 hours already, but you still cannot write down what you study. So no point, what? You study 6 hours, you still don't know what you study. No point, right? That's why active recall and feedback learning are so important. Okay. Now, I would like to suggest a flow for your SPM revision. Again, this is not the ultimate thing you must do. It's just my suggestions based on my experience. Okay, so when we study chemistry, okay, sequence I think is quite important. Always start to revise Form 4 first. Always start with Form 4 revision. Don't start with Form 5, because Form 4 is the basics of everything. Okay? So the most basic things about chemistry is in your Form 4, Chapter 2, 3, 4, and 5. These are the basics of everything. You want to pass your chemistry, you need to know this. Okay, guys, take my words. So, everyone here, including those of you who watch this video afterwards, everyone have different objective. Not to say everyone aim for A1. Someone only want to pass. Someone just to get a credit. It's perfectly fine. So everyone has different target one. If your target is just to pass your chemistry, don't waste your time. Just focus on 4 chapters, enough. I repeat, if your target is just to pass your chemistry, you don't waste your time on Form 4 Chapter 6. You don't need to study redox, nothing. You just focus on these 4 chapters. If you just aim to pass only. If you just aim to pass, 4 chapters is what you need. But you must make sure you know these 4 chapters very well. Whatever thing came out in these 4 chapters, you can do everything. Then confirm you can pass. Yeah, if you just want to pass, you study 4 chapters only, because your entire chemistry, Form 4 got 8 chapters, Form 5 got 5, 13. You not even to study 13 chapters, you study 4 out of 13, you can pass your chemistry already. This is the one. So after knowing the basic of your chemistry, then we go for this. These are the chapters that they need memorizing, but they are very easy to score. They ask very straightforward. Form 4, Chapter 8, Form 5, Chapter 5. Example, if you are with me in Form 5, Chapter 5 reasoning, the questions are very straightforward, isn't it? They'll ask you medicine, isn't it? They will ask you food additive. They will ask you fat and oil cleaning agent. Yeah, Form 4, Chapter 8, they ask you alloy, glass, ceramic. Very straightforward one, yeah? So these are the chapters that You need memorizing somehow, but they are not too hard. And the questions are very straightforward. They don't twist and turn the questions. They won't be K-but one. You will find that Form 4 Chapter 8 and Form 5 Chapter 5, they hardly ask K-but question. The questions are very straightforward. You know, then you know. You don't know, then you don't know what. Very straightforward one. Okay. So if you're having these few things with you, okay, you can do this thing, you should able to secure at least a C already. Okay, at least a C already if you can do this. Okay, so if your aim is to get, let's say, B and above, so here are some of the chapters you need to know lah. These are the chapters that they always ask, but they are very easy to answer. Form 4 chapter 7, this is one of the bonus chapter if you know how to do. Okay, especially collision theory. Okay, I will cover this in our revision class. For revision class, my aim for you for collision theory is to score full mark. Okay, collision theory full mark is 5 to 10 marks. Collision theory score full mark is very easy and achievable. Okay, full marks achievable one. Okay, collision theory is super easy. Form 4 chapter 7, if you know how to do it, you can get a lot of score from there, and they being asked every single year. Okay, after that, Form 5 chapter 3. Form 5 chapter 3 also not very hard. Thermochemistry. Q equal to MC theta delta H equal to plus minus Q over N. Is that the whole chapter only use these two formulas to calculate, which is quite easy. Form 5 chapter 4 is your polymer. So polymer also something quite straightforward. Yeah, coagulations of latex, condensation polymer, addition polymer, and so on. So these are the chapters they always ask. Okay, and it's quite easy to answer, especially this one and this one. Okay, all right. Okay, now you know lah. Okay, what we call that the tricky and hard topics for chemistry. I guess you all know that. These are the three, right? Okay. Form 4 chapter 6, acid, base, and salts. Form 5 chapter 1, redox. Okay. Form 5 chapter 2, carbon compounds. These are those long and hard chapter lah. And this is the killer topics lah for many students. Okay, you ask yourself lah, most of you definitely, for those who struggle with chemistry, most of you struggle the most lah in these three chapters. Okay, I believe everyone agree with what I say, right? These are those killer topics lah. But these are the one that will determine your grade, especially if you aim to get B plus and above. Yeah, you want to get A plus, you want to get A, you want to get A minus. These are those important topics for you. Okay, so this is my suggestion for you to revise. Yeah, follow this sequence is a bit more effective, because I saw some people the way they do revision doesn't make sense. What I saw one student start doing revision for Form 5. Then I asked, hey, your Form 4 is okay. No, sir, my Form 4 very weak. Your Form 4 very weak, then you start to do revision with Form 5. That is quite weird lah. That is quite weird for me lah. Okay, so like it or not, no matter you are very good or you are very bad, I would really suggest at least start your revision with Form 4 lah. At least start your revision with your Form 4, not with Form 5. Okay, so these are some of the sequence that you can do. Again, at the end of the day, you are the one who make decision. You are the one who decide what you want to do, how you want to do it. Okay. So guys, let me know in the chat box. Are you okay with the revision flow that I suggested? Are you okay with that? I hope you see the logic. Why I suggest for you to do the revision in this way. There is a reason why. Okay. Always start from the basic thing first. Okay. Because I always tell you all, chemistry sequence is important. Chemistry, you cannot jump sequence, but very hard. If you try to jump the sequence, you cannot skip anything one. Okay, so now, okay, this is a checklist for you. Okay, I hope after today, this PDF file, you don't simply just throw it away. Okay, this PDF file can be really helpful for you. Okay, you can make good use of this like this. You can make good use like this way. After you finish your revision, take it as a checklist. Ask yourself, do you really achieve what you need to know for that particular chapter? Then only you move on. Okay. Example. Okay, so this list I prepare for you Form 4 and Form 5. But today I'll talk about Form 5. Okay, since we are doing Form 5 final summary. Okay, but you see, you can ask yourself, let's say today you do your revision for your whole chapter 2 already. So how you do your feedback learning, how you do your active recall. You ask yourself, do you know what is matter? Matter is what? Matter is any substance that has mass and occupied space, isn't it? Hey, do you able to draw solid, liquid, and gas? Okay, solid, you must draw the whole box must be full and must draw minimum 3 times 3. Minimum 3 circle, 3 circle, 3 circle, minimum. More than 3 is okay. You cannot draw like this. This is, you draw like this is wrong. Okay, or if you draw like this, 3 times 3 is wrong. Why? The entire box is not full. Okay, so if you draw solid, the whole box must be fully occupied. Minimum 3 times 3, minimum. More than 3 is okay. Okay, so all these things, you need to know how to draw solid, how to draw liquid, how to draw gas. Sometimes you thought you understand this, which is something you learn in Form 1, but many students still do wrongly. So you have to be very careful with that. Then you have to ask yourself, okay, so how to different, what is the difference between, what is the difference between element and compound? What is element? Anything made by one type of atom only. What is compound? Anything made by more than one species, anything made by more than one elements. Okay, so this is a good checklist. Okay, so this is like, okay, after you study chapter 2, how you know you're okay or not? You ask yourself, are you okay? Are you okay? Oh, not okay. Okay, okay, not okay. So from the checklist, at least you know whether you are you are in the right situation or not. So if this is not okay, then you revise back on this. You got it? Because if you don't have this checklist, you have no idea, because everything is still all about input, no output. Okay. So this is something I really want to focus on, your output. Okay. All right. So now, so for the next probably about 1 hour, I'll spend about 1 hour just to tell you something that you should know for your Form 5. Since we want to do a Form 5 wrap up. Okay. So now, okay, a very quick one here. So Form 5 has 5 chapters. Chapter 1 is the longest one. If for those of you who follow me in chapter 1, I think I spent 24 lessons. I think I spent about 24 lessons with you all just on chapter 1 alone. So chapter 1, there are so many things that are closely related one. Okay. So first of all, make sure everyone, you know what is redox. So what is redox? Oxidation and reduction reactions happen at the same time. Okay, redox is a chemical reactions that involve oxidation and reductions happen at the same time. And make sure everyone know how to use 4 methods to decide oxidation or reduction. So a quick revision, how to do it. So we have 4 methods: oxygen, oxidation number, hydrogen, and electron method, right? Oxidation, reduction. So if you remember, what are the tricks that I taught you? Look at the first letter, right? O and O same letter plus, O and O same letter plus, O and H different letter minus, O and E different letter minus. So here everything opposite. Yeah. So oxidation, gain oxygen, increase in oxidation number, lose hydrogen, lose electron, something like that. So make sure everyone know there are 4 methods for you to determine oxidation and reduction. Okay. And I also tell you all, right? When a substance undergo oxidation, the same substance will become reducing agent. When the substance undergo reduction, this substance will become oxidizing agent for other people. So you always be the opposite agent for other substances for the process that you undergo. You undergo whatever process, you become the opposite agent. Okay. So, and make sure everyone know what is oxidation number. Yeah, what is oxidation number and how to calculate the oxidation number you don't know. Example, let's say you have MnO4 minus. So how to calculate oxidation number for Mn? So copy it. So oxygen, the oxidation number is -2. You have 4 oxygen times 4. If you add all the oxidation number together, they must be same as the charge. So do your calculation, then you can get your oxidation number. And allow me to remind you all, Oxidation number must always show the sign. Positive or negative need to show it. If you don't show the sign, it's wrong, yeah? So this is something that you learned before. Remember, we are not learning new thing today, yeah? Okay, I just summarize for you only. I just do a very quick recap, a very quick summary to tell you what is important. That is the intention for today's lesson. So I need to manage your expectation. Okay, so make sure everyone know how to write a chemical equation, convert chemical equation to ionic equation and half equation. Okay, ionic equation got charge, don't have electrons. Half equation got charge, got electrons. Example, zinc plus copper sulfate, okay, becomes zinc sulfate and copper. So this is a chemical equation. Can we convert to ionic equation? Yes, we can list out the charge. Zinc is an element. Anything got one species is an element. Element don't have charge. Copy back. Copper, Cu2 plus, sulfate, SO4, 2 minus. Zinc, Zn2 plus, SO4, 2 minus. Copper come alone. So you are an element. Element don't have charge. So now SO4 is the same cut off. Now you get ionic equation. We learned this before, right? Okay. How to get half equation? So cut into different apple and apple comparison. Zinc becomes zinc 2 plus. Cu2 plus becomes Cu, right? Half equation, you must know the number of electrons you needed. Number of electrons decided by total charge on the left and the right. Okay? So the charge difference is 2. You need 2 electrons, right? Put electron to the more positive side. Always remember, half equation, always put the electron to the more positive side. Okay? This is more positive. Put here. So the charge plus 2 and 0, the differences is 2. You need 2 electron. Put electron to the more positive charge, the positive way. So always remember how to convert chemical equation to ionic equation to half equation. All these are important because in Form 5 Chapter 1, if you don't know half equation, basically the whole chapter GG already. Yeah? If you don't know half equation, you cannot survive in your Form 5 Chapter 1. Okay, that is the most basic thing you should know lah. Okay, so I hope you guys are okay with it. Yeah, that will be the first thing. Okay, so now let's go on a little bit more. Yeah, let's go on a little bit more. Okay, so we also learned in chapter 1, right? Fe2 plus love to convert to Fe3 plus, Fe3 plus love to become Fe2 plus lah. So make sure you know how to do the conversion. Fe2 plus become Fe3 plus, you need oxidizing agent to help you. Okay, we have 4 oxidizing agent. If you all remember, what is it? Chlorine, bromine, acidified potassium manganate, acidified potassium dichromate. This is what I call active recall. You see, when I see this, I can directly explain what is it. This is called active recall. Yeah. You just read. It doesn't work. Okay. So these are the oxidizing agent that can help us to convert Fe2 plus to Fe3 plus. Okay. So if I want to do if I want to convert Fe3 plus to Fe2 plus, I use reducing agent. Okay, now I need some feedback from you. Any one of you can remember how many reducing agent that we all learned in SPM? How many? How many reducing agent out there? Anyone can remember? Okay, got 3. Okay, got 3 reducing agent. First one is halide ion. Halide means chloride, bromide, iodide. Group 17 ion, they are reducing agent. Magnesium, zinc. Yeah. So these are the common reducing agent that we all learn in chapter 1. Okay. So that's why it's a good feedback, Today, let's say you listen to me saying this. Oh, you say, I kind of forgot this already. Then you revise on this. Understand? So this checklist is help you all to explore yourself, to explore what you know and what you don't know. Okay. So this is important. Okay. I always mention that you can't solve a problem if you not even know what is the problem, right? If you not even know what is the problem, you cannot solve the problem. So everything starts from identifying the problem. Yeah. So how to identify? Checklist might be helpful. Okay. After that, we also learn about YouTube, right? Back in chapter 1, okay? YouTube is a very important subtopic to focus this year, 2026. So later on, when we start doing revision program in September, so we will revise on Form 4, and at the end of the sessions, I'll also share with you all what are some important topics that you can focus a bit more in SPM this year. Not a tips, it's not a tips, okay? Just by some analysis, some of the topics that you can slightly focus on this year. But you still need to study everything. You cannot study on those selected topics. Cannot. That is too risky. Okay? So YouTube can produce electric one. So YouTube got oxidizing agent, reducing agent, and salt bridge, three solution together. I hope you still remember that. Okay. Then after that, we also learn about metal displacement and halide displacement, right? If anyone remember, when I say the word displacement, it means gangster bully concept. If you follow my class, you should know what do we mean by gangster bully concept. The more powerful one will kick the ass of the less powerful one and rob their boyfriend and girlfriend. That is called gangster bully concept. So metal displacement, metal bully metal. Halide displacement, group 17 bully group 17. Okay? So how to know which metal is more powerful? ECS, okay? Electrochemical series. How to know which halogen is more powerful? Look at group 17, chlorine, bromine, iodine. Chlorine is more powerful than bromine. Bromine is more powerful than iodine. Make sure everyone know that. Okay. So for me, these are still considered quite okay. The real disaster normally start from here. Okay. For me, a lot of people, the struggle in chapter 1 started when we go for half cell, voltaic cell, and electrolytic cell. Okay. So hope everyone know what is half cell. What is half cell? Okay. When you put one metal in the same metal ion, that is called half cell. Example, you put magnesium metal in magnesium ion. You put aluminium metal in aluminium ion. That's called half cell. Half cell can produce electric. And the voltage produced by half cell is called standard electrode potential. So if any one of you remember, okay, so guys, I need you to do revision with me. So let's say I got a zinc half cell here. So I want to know how much electric can be produced by zinc half cell. So I must connect zinc half cell to a special furler. Anyone remember what is it? Anyone remember? If I want to know how much voltage produces by one half cell, I must connect the half cell to somebody. Who is the somebody? SHE, standard hydrogen electrode, isn't it? Standard hydrogen electrode, okay? So the electrode here got hydrogen gas and hydrogen ion. Very good, yeah? So you see, guys, when I ask the question, some of you can answer in the chat box. Is a proof that you know something. Same thing, everyone. If I ask this question, you don't know that you need to connect to SHE, it's okay. It means that maybe you forgot already. Just revise lah. Just revise. It's okay one. You got it. Don't feel bad for being don't know. It's okay one. Don't feel bad about it. Yeah. So at least you understand what you know, what you don't know, and they connect by salt bridge. Okay. So that's it. So if you want to know how much voltage produces by a half cell, you must connect the half cell to standard hydrogen electrode. Okay. So make sure you know how to draw the standard hydrogen electrode. Sometimes they'll ask you to draw. Okay. All right. So that's it. Okay, that is something that we all learned previously. Okay, what else? Okay, you must know the differences between voltaic cell and electrolytic cell. So I noticed that a lot of students, they're always having a problem with voltaic cell and electrolytic cell. They can't even tell the difference. And if you follow my class, I told you that the way I do is different from your school. Most of the school, the way they teach is what? They say, oh, got battery is electrolytic cell, no battery is voltaic cell. not so good lah, not so accurate lah. So the one of the better way is looking at the material. If the electrode made by same material is electrolytic cell, if the electrode made by two different metals is voltaic cell, that will be something more accurate. Okay. And after that, you must know what is electrolyte, what is non-electrolyte. So electrolyte means they can conduct electricity. And after they conduct electricity, they must undergo chemical changes. After they conduct electricity, they must become something else. Those are electrolyte. Yeah. So who is electrolyte? Ionic compounds, acids, all these things we learned before. And how to solve voltaic cell question by using crocodile theory. So I hope everyone still remember what is crocodile theory. Okay, a quick 3 minutes revision here. I just show you something. What is crocodile theory? Okay, if you forget, revise back lah. Crocodile theory look like this. Let's say I got a zinc, I got a copper, so I got zinc 2 plus and copper 2 plus. So this is a voltmeter and this is a salt bridge. Okay, so how to do voltaic cell question? First and foremost, check their E naught value. So they will give you, okay, the zinc half cell, E naught value is negative 0.76. No need to memorize, they'll give you. Copper half cell, the E naught value is, let's say, positive 0.34, for example. So when you want to do voltaic cell question, first and foremost, you need to decide terminal. Who is negative, who is positive terminal? So very easy. Look at the E naught value. The more negative one is negative terminal, the more positive one is positive terminal. So example, this is more negative, so zinc is negative terminal, copper is positive. After decide the terminal, you must know voltaic cell, they want to produce electric. When you want to produce electric, you must donate and receive electrons. Somebody must throw electrons, somebody must receive. So always start from donate electron. So who will donate electron, zinc or copper? So E naught value, the more negative means they love to donate electron. The more positive means they love to receive. So who love to donate electron? Zinc. So zinc donate the electron to become zinc 2 plus and the electron they throw away. So when zinc donate electron go out from zinc, go to the other side. Okay. And I told you, right, the electron is not received by copper metal. No, metal don't love to receive electron. The electron, okay, will jump from the building. The electron jump from a building, go into the river. Yeah, electron go into the river and taken by the crocodile. Isn't it? Crocodile theory. So electron is negative. They will attract positive ion, which is crocodile. So I got Cu2 plus, which is the crocodile. Cu2 plus come over to eat the electron. So when Cu2 plus receiving electron, I get Cu. You see? So we already solved the voltaic cell question easily just by using a simple crocodile theory. I hope everyone okay with this. Okay. So this is how we solve voltaic cell. Okay. So after that, electrolytic cell is the interesting part. Electrolytic cell affected by E naught value, concentration, and electrode. So make sure everyone know how to do it. So I think I told you before. Okay. So we have anode and cathode. Anode, if anyone remember, what is the keyword I give before to anode? A stand for what? I always say that one in chapter 1. A stand for what? Anode, A stand for what? A. Anode is affected, right? Anode affected easily. Anode affected by E naught value. Anode affected by concentration. Anode affected by your electrode. Yeah, active or inert. Yeah, cathode C stand for what? Anyone remember? Cathode C stand for what? Confirm, right? Cathode confirm, follow E naught value. Cathode, they don't care about concentration. They don't freaking care dilute or concentrate. They don't care. Cathode, they don't care about the electrode is active or inert. They don't care. Cathode always follow E naught value. Okay, so if you know how to use affected and confirmed, that's easy. So all these things we learn in chapter 1. So that's why I say today my purpose is not to teach you chapter 1. I just want to help you to recall back your memory. And I just want you to explore yourself. If you don't know what I am talking about, probably is the good time for you to revise back your chapter 1. Understand? So I'm trying to do my best. I'm trying to do my best to help you to figure out chapter 1, are you okay or are you not okay? So what you okay, what you not okay. So this is really important. So after that, we also learn about two-in-one question. So two-in-one question can combine voltaic cell and electrolytic cell. Okay, these are the questions that 90% of students cannot do lah. Example, okay, zinc, copper, copper, copper. Okay. So this is what we call two-in-one question. Okay. So when you get the questions, you can see the electrodes are two different material voltaic cell. Okay. Same material electrolytic cell. So this question combine voltaic cell and electrolytic cell. Okay. So that's the combinations of it lah. Okay. So this is called two-in-one question. So I hope everyone okay with it. Okay, done. Okay, so then you must know the applications of electrolysis. So electrolysis, we can use purifications. Okay, we can make impure copper to become pure, impure silver to become pure. So make sure you know lah, when you do purification, what you should put at anode and what you should put at cathode, right? Okay, so when we do purification, okay, when you put purification, what do we do? Okay, electroplating, same thing. Okay, electroplating, what we do. Okay, so if anyone remember, I teach you before purification, anode and cathode. Purification, cathode stand for clean. Okay, always put the pure electrode, pure copper, pure silver at the cathode. Okay, electroplating, anode and cathode. The cathode C stand for coat. Any object you want to do coating, you put at cathode. Example, I want to coat my iron spoon with silver. Put my iron spoon at cathode lah. I want to put iron ring with the copper. Put the iron ring at cathode lah. So make sure you know lah. Okay, what subject put at anode, what subject put at cathode lah. So all these things we learned before. Yeah, all these things we learned before. After that, you must know about corrosion and rusting. So corrosion and rusting also something you can focus a bit more, especially this year. SPM 2026, something you can focus a bit more this year. Okay, what is corrosion? Corrosion happens when the metal gets eats away. When part of the metal disappear, eats away. So what happened during corrosion? Metal lose electron. When any metal lose electron to become ion, they are corroded. Okay? And what is rusting? Rusting means the iron is corroded. When iron lose electron to become Fe2 plus, the iron corroded. And the word rusting only can use by iron. You cannot say magnesium rust. You cannot say aluminum rust. All the metals, they can use the word corrode. The rusting only used by iron. And make sure everyone know how to explain the mechanism. Mechanism is what? Step by step. How rusting occur. Yeah. So rusting, if any remember, we learned before, there is a piece of iron and there is a water droplets. So you must be able to explain. Okay. First of all, the iron will lose electron to become Fe2 plus. So when iron lose electron, they are corroded. So you see a hole here. Okay. Electron go to the corner, received by oxygen and water, and so on. The entire process, the mechanism of rusting. Okay. Then after that, you must know that rusting is affected when they connected with other metals. Okay. When you connect iron with magnesium, when you connect iron with copper, the speed of rusting will be different. The rusting can be speed up or can be prevented. Okay. So if you connect iron with the metal higher in ECS, they will prevent the rusting. If you connect iron with those metal lower in ECS, they will speed up the rusting. Yeah. So this is something we learn. How to prevent rusting? So you can prevent rusting by putting a protective layer outside. Like you can put paint, yeah, you can do electroplating, okay, or you can do something called sacrificial protection. What is sacrificial protection? Okay, connect the iron with a more powerful metal. Example, ship. Okay, the body of the ship is made by steel, which is made of iron. You can put some zinc at the bottom. Zinc, they are more powerful than iron. So zinc undergo corrosion. When zinc corroded, iron don't need to corrode. So this is what we call sacrificial protection. Lastly, you must know how to extract the metals, okay? How to extract aluminium, how to extract iron. This is also something you can focus on because they didn't ask this thing for many years already. I think for the last 4 years, they didn't ask this. Something you can focus a bit more, but don't worry on those things. Okay, after we finish all the revision, when I do seminar with you all, I'll tell you what are those subtopics or topics you can slightly focus this year. Okay, I'll tell you that later on. Okay, so you see, this is chapter 1. So again, guys, you don't need to put too much stress on yourself. Oh, I need to revise the whole chapter 1 in 1 week. No need one, okay? No need one. Okay. So you can plan, you can split lah, okay? Example, that's why I say break a big goals to a smaller goal. Make sure your goal is small but specific. Just like for example, okay, you only say I want to get good result. Good result. How good is that? What do you mean by good? You got it? Not specific enough, okay? Or if you set a target, I want to get B. I want to get B plus. I want to get A minus. I mean, isn't that a bit more specific? Okay, so same thing, okay? So instead of say, oh, I want to revise whole chapter 1 by September, why not you split, do a proper timetable, or week 1, what are the subtopics you want to revise? Week 2, what are the subtopics you want to revise? After revision, do you have time to do your exercises? So if you don't have the timetable, it's hard. You study impromptu, spontaneously, the time is never enough. You got it? So that's why just now I say start everything with a proper planning. Okay? At least do your timetable. Okay? So after you study this, active recall. After you study this, then you ask yourself, okay, do I know this already? Do I know this already? Do I know this already? Do I know this? So this checklist is really helpful. So this checklist I give you today so that you can employ active recall in your revision program. So when you want to do active recall, you don't know what to do, very easy one. You just take out this PDF file that I give you today. You ask yourself, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Then from there, you will roughly know, do you already revise the concept? Do you really understand whatever thing you have done? Okay? So guys, let me know in the chat box, are you okay with what are those important things for chapter 1? Okay, so I really don't know what is your expectation. Some of you might come in expecting, oh, I don't know chapter 1. After today's session, I will fully understand the whole chapter 1. That is not what we want to do today, okay? So today, I'm not teaching you anything. I just tell you something that we have learned previously. What are the important things? And you have to do revision on your side. And if when you do revision, you encounter any problem, you always can approach me one. You always can ask me one. Okay. So if you're being so shy and embarrassed to ask for the past 1 year, 1.5 year, now it's time for you to be shameless. Okay. It's time for you to be shameless. Just ask lah. Just ask me. Okay. If you didn't ask, I don't know. Okay. I don't know what I can do for you. Yeah. I don't know what I can do for you. All right. Okay. Now let's have a look. Okay. Chapter 2. Okay, chapter 2 is also a long chapter, is also a killer topics. I think we spent about 16 lessons. I think we spent approximate 16 lessons in chapter 2 this year. Okay, so chapter 2, first and foremost, you must know what is organic, what is inorganic compound. So organic come from living source, inorganic come from non-living source. But I teach you another tricks, right? I teach you a tips how to know who is organic, who is inorganic. So all carbon compound, they should be organic. Or anything got carbon, they should be organic, except three special things. CO, CO2, CO3, right? So anything got carbon, they are organic, except they are carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, or carbonic. So other than that, anything got carbon, they should be organic lah. So after that, we also learn about hydrocarbon and non-hydrocarbon, right? What is hydrocarbon? Okay, any substance, any compound made of carbon and hydrogen only, yeah? Only got carbon and hydrogen, nothing else. What is non-hydrocarbon? Non-hydrocarbon doesn't mean they don't have carbon, they don't have hydrogen. No, non-hydrocarbon, they still have carbon, still have hydrogen, just that apart from carbon and hydrogen, they have something else. Okay, that is non-hydrocarbon. Okay. So after that, we also learned about saturated and unsaturated, right? What is saturated? Carbon-carbon, single bond. Unsaturated, carbon-carbon, double bond, carbon-carbon, triple bond. Okay, but triple bond, super rare to be tested in SPM. After that, we also learned that hydrocarbon you can get from fractional distillations of petroleum. So to get hydrocarbon, you can get from petroleum, but in petroleum, we have so many things mixed together. If you want to separate those things, you can do fractional distillation. Okay? Fractional distillation use different boiling point to separate those compounds. Okay? After that, we also learn about cracking. Cracking is a process to break a big hydrocarbon to become a smaller one. So why? Why we are so free, nothing to do to break a big hydrocarbon to a smaller one? Because smaller hydrocarbon are more useful. Big hydrocarbon, they are not really practical. Very hard to burn, very hard to use to do anything. Smaller hydrocarbon are more useful. Okay? We can use small hydrocarbon to burn. We can use the small hydrocarbon to produce other substances. So small hydrocarbon are more useful. Okay. Now, you also learn about homologous series and functional group. Okay, 1 minute revision, guys. How many homologous series we have? Let me know in the chat box. How many homologous series we have, everyone? Okay, very good. We have 6 homologous series. We have 6 homologous series. Okay. The other day, I have another group say 3 homologous series. I almost cry. Okay. 6, 6 homologous series. So homologous series means the group of carbon compound. So we have alkane, we have alkene, we have alkyne, we have alcohol, we have carboxylic acid and ester, isn't it? So you see, this is what I call active recall. Can you see that? I ask myself, do I know homologous series? Yes. Next one. What is functional group, guys? Functional group, I call it sex organ, right? You saw it, you know who is it. Okay, alkane, what is the functional group? Carbon-carbon, single bond. Alkene, carbon-carbon, double bond. Alkyne, carbon-carbon, triple bond. Alcohol, OH. Okay, 1 minute revision, guys. Apart from OH, if I want to put it a name, what I can call it? OH also known as what? OH also known as what? Hydroxyl, right? Hydroxyl. Okay? So if you see, if you can answer in the chat box, okay. If you don't know what is happening, it's okay. Revise back. Understand? Revise back. Carboxylic acid, COOH, also can call carboxyl. Okay? Ester, what is the sex organ for Ester? COO. Remember, COO must put one line and one line here. You forget to draw the line, the examiner forget to give you the mark. Okay? So please remember the small details. COO, another name is called carboxylate. So same thing, everyone. If you can do this active recall, congratulations. If you cannot, it's okay. Revise back. Revise back. Okay, that's why I say this checklist can be very helpful one if you know how to use it. So I hope you don't, after today's session, you just throw it away. Make good use of this checklist. It can be a very good tools to help you a lot in your revision. Yeah, it can really help you if you make good use of it. Okay, next one, general formula. Okay, general formula can predict the substance. You see, alkane, CnH2n plus 2. Alkene, CnH2n. Alkyne, CnH2n minus 2. Alcohol, CnH2n plus 1. OH. Carboxylic acid, CnH2n plus 1. COOH. Ester, no need. See that? Directly, we can write out everything. So if you can write this thing, means you have the idea. If you cannot, revise. Okay? So we can use the general formula to predict the carbon compound. Today, I want to know the alcohol got 4 carbon. So take this 4 carbon, C4H9OH. Yeah? I want to get the formula for alkene, which have a 5 carbon, C5H10. You got it? That's how we use general formula. After that, make sure you know how to draw. Make sure you know how to name carbon compound. So I told you all before, right? To name carbon compound, always start from the back. Yeah? Alkane, end with A-N-E. Alkene, E-N-E. Alcohol, O-L, for example. Yeah? So then, the carbon, mama eat papaya. Okay? All these things we all learned before. Yeah? So just recall back. Then after that, make sure you know how to draw the isomers. So what do we mean by isomers? They have same molecular formula, but different structural formula. So they have same quantity, but different arrangement. Okay? And if anyone remember, I told you all before, in SPM, what is the maximum number of isomers they can ask us to draw? Anyone remember? I told you before. SPM maximum, only 2. SPM never ever ask more than 2 isomers. So if you can draw 2 isomers, you are completely safe for SPM. Enough already. Okay, next one. We must know some physical and chemical properties of homologous series. Okay, especially chemical properties. Physical properties is quite rare to be tested. Yeah, so chemical properties, make sure you know. Alkene. Alkene can do what? Okay, halogenation, hydrogenation, okay, oxidation, and so on. Make sure everyone know that. Okay, so how to differentiate alkane and alkene? Simple one, bromine water, right? Put bromine water in alkane and alkene. If the bromine water change from brown to colorless, that is alkene. If the bromine water brown color remain unchanged, that is alkane. So all these things we learned before. Okay, next one. They also can ask you some essay question, because I believe you all know that. Every single year, your essay question, okay, not every single year. Sometimes in the essay question, they may ask you all to design experiment. Not sometimes they will ask you to design experiment. Not every time. Sometimes they ask, sometimes they don't. Sometimes in section B, sometimes in section C. Okay, so they can ask you one. Okay, describe the procedure to prepare ethanol, and they give you 7 marks or 10 marks. So if you all remember this year, I think, yeah, this year, when we are in chapter 2, there is one question, right? How to produce ethanol. Okay, so we go to take the grapes, some of the high sugar fruits, you crush it, you blend it to get the juice. So after you have the juice, put in some yeast and just close, just put a stopper, okay, and let it be there for a few days, and then you will do fermentation. And when we do fermentation, the ethanol we produce is impure, so we can do fractional distillation. yeah, to make it pure. So all these things we learned before. And also, I think I also taught you all this year how to prepare ester, right? How to design experiment to prepare ester. Yeah, carboxylic acid mixed with alcohol, what to do? Yeah, all these things. So sometimes they may ask you to describe these things. So for me, when you come to this kind of described procedure, you don't go to memorize all the steps. So what you need to do is that look at the picture, because if you look at the picture, you roughly know what is the steps, you roughly know what is happening, you can goreng all those procedures one. Okay? So you don't need to memorize everything from A to Z for chemistry. After that, make sure everyone know how to write the chemical equation for esterification and how to predict the ester formula. Okay, example. Today, if I have, let's say, today if I got propanoic acid and I have methanol, can we write the equation for esterification? Yes. Carboxylic acid, CnH2n plus 1 COOH. Propanoic acid got 3 carbon. So for carboxylic acid, I want 3 carbon, but the N cannot put 3. If any one of you remember, I told you in chapter 2, for carboxylic acid, if you want to predict the formula, the N must be the number of carbon you wanted minus with 1 unit, isn't it? So I want propanoic acid, I want 3 carbon, but the N should put 2. C2H5COH. So all these things we learned before. Methanol is an alcohol. How to predict alcohol? CnH2n plus 1 OH. So meth stands for how many carbon? 1. So 1 carbon CH3OH. So now when you have carboxylic acid plus alcohol, you should produce ester and water. And I told you all before, right? How to get the formula of ester. You don't need to memorize. You can predict the formula of ester by doing this. Put the carboxylic acid in front. Put the alcohol at the back. So for alcohol, it's better to put the OH here. So how to do the magic? Carboxylic acid throw OH, alcohol throw H. So OH and H, they producing the water here. So after you throw them away, now you join together. So this COO is your ester. So this is how you predict the ester. We predict ester, not memorizing the ester. Okay? So lastly, we also learn that how to draw ester, how to name ester. Example, let's use this question for demonstration. How to draw this ester? Always draw ester with COO in the middle, right? Left hand side got 2 carbon, right hand side got 1 carbon. All carbon got 4 bonds and put in hydrogen. So this is how you draw your ester. After that, how you name ester, if you all remember, 1 minute revision. How to name ester, everyone? Cut between the O, right? Ester, when you want to name it, cut between the O. So the front part is carboxylic acid part, COOH. The back is alcohol. So when you want to name the ester, do a cross method. Name alcohol first. My alcohol got 1 carbon, meth, methyl. My carboxylic acid got 3 carbon, propanoic acid become propanoic. So this is how we get the name of ester, something that we all learned in chapter 2. Okay, same thing. If you forgot, revise back. If you forgot, revise back. That's all. Okay, don't feel stressed. It's okay one. We are human, we are forgetful. It's normal one. You forgot, just revise back lah. As simple as that. Okay, so these are some important things you need to know for chapter 2. So if you can do chapter 2, you will be better than at least 50% of students in the whole Malaysia. Because many students are very terrible when they come to chapter 2. Okay? And chapter 2, if you remember, what is the most common way they ask the question? Anyone remember? What are the most common way they ask the question in chapter 2? Very good, Enxuan, Ming Hao, very good. Flow chart, flow chart, okay? Very good. Yeah, they love to use flow chart to ask question for chapter 2. They love it, okay? So simple as that, okay? So I hope, okay, I'm not teaching you chapter 2 today. I just tell you what is important. You can do this as a good checklist. So let's say you plan your revision, okay? After you revise, or let's say next week you revise here. So after revise, ask yourself, are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay? So if you look at the checklist here, you can tell yourself or tell your friend what is happening. That is good enough. That's why I always encourage you all to teach your friend. If let's say your friend is asking you, you have the capability and the time, go and teach them. Because when you're helping others, when you teach others, you yourself learn even more. Because when you can explain to something, when you can break down a complicated concept to an easy way and explain to your friend, you are the one who learned the most actually. Okay? So guys, let me know in the chat box, are you okay with important topics for chapter 2? Yeah? All right. So that is how it works. Okay, now let's go for chapter 3. Okay, I would like to talk a little bit about chapter 3. Chapter 3 will be tested almost every single year. Every single year, they will ask chapter 3. Most of the time, they will ask in paper. Most every year they will ask chapter 3 in paper 2 for sure. Okay. Normally, chapter 3, the marks will be around 5 to 10 marks. Okay. Sometimes they ask in section A, sometimes section B or section C, but they ask almost every single year. Okay. And you all can do your own analysis. One example, let's say, okay, last year they asked heat of displacement. Okay. So the year before they asked heat of combustion, for example. Then you roughly know this year what are the more important ones. But don't get me wrong, it doesn't mean that they asked heat of displacement last year, this year they won't ask. But in terms of probability, in terms of chances, these two will be tested even more. But you see, that's why I say you need to prepare for everything, but you can slightly focus on this. Okay. That's why I won't stop you from believing any tips. I won't stop you from that. Okay, because that is your choice. But my advice to you is that for whatever tips that you choose to believe in, you cannot only study what is the tips all about. Okay. Because if you only study the tips, what if, ask yourself, what if the tips is not accurate? Then gone. So if you want to believe in whatever tips, no problem. Make sure you do the full revision. You study for everything first. Then only you slightly focus on so-called the tips if you really want to believe in tips if you okay. But you cannot only study on tips that is very very risky. That is very very risky if you only study on tips. Okay. All right. So Form 5 Chapter 3 is a chapter that you can get a good score if you really, really understand the trend. Because this is a chapter that if you realize the questions are very predictable. The way they ask the questions are very, very predictable. Okay. So I think if I remember correctly, we spent 7 lessons. I think we spent 7 lessons this year on chapter 3. Yeah. Okay. So let's do a quick a summary. So make sure everyone know the difference between endothermic and exothermic. Okay, endo, enter, the heat go in, absorb the heat. Exo, exit, heat go out, release the heat. So endothermic absorb heat, exothermic release heat. So make sure you know what is the relationship between temperature with endo and exo. So I told you, all right, normally, sometimes they don't tell you endo or exo. So you need to know temperature increases, endo or exo. Temperature decrease, endo or exo. So endo, D stand for decrease. Temperature decrease is endo, temperature increase is exo. Okay, done? So make sure everyone know the differences between energy level diagram and energy profile diagram. Okay, 1 minute revision. I would be I am very delighted to hear from you. So guys, energy level diagram. Anyone can tell me what is the shape of energy level diagram? Energy level diagram look like what? Level. One level, one level, one level look like what? Staircase, right? Staircase. So energy level diagram is staircase. Staircase going up, staircase going down, right? So when you have a staircase, so that is energy level diagram. Make sure you label energy on the y-axis. And energy level diagram, no need to draw x-axis. No need to draw. Okay, but some student will ask me, Mr. Martin, what if I draw? Never mind lah, you draw also never mind one. No need to draw, but if you draw, they won't penalize you lah. Okay, energy profile diagram. So profile, anyone remember profile? The P is what? I say one before. What's the keyword? P is what? P is peak, right? P stand for peak, right? So energy profile diagram is a staircase plus a peak. Okay, staircase plus a small mountain. So when you see staircase got small mountain, when you see staircase got a small mountain, that is called energy profile diagram. So that's it. So they love to ask you all about energy level diagram and energy profile diagram. Okay, good. Okay. So next one, make sure you know how to analyze these two diagrams. Energy level diagram tell you something, energy profile diagram tell you something. So let's spend 3 minutes. Let's spend 3 minutes to do revision. So let's say today I have energy level diagram. Okay. So energy level diagram, I can get 3 information. Okay, first information, I can know this reaction endo or exo. So delta H negative exo. So this reaction is exothermic, isn't it? Second one, energy level diagram can tell me absorb or release heat. So negative is exo means release. So I release how many heat? 100 kilojoule. So when you absorb or release heat, make sure everyone mention the word surrounding. Everyone, you absorb the heat from the surrounding. You release the heat to the surrounding. So don't forget your surrounding. So this reaction release 100 kilojoule of heat to the surrounding. Yeah. Last one. What else we can know from energy level diagram? So energy level diagram, you can look at the staircase. Which staircase is higher, which staircase is lower. They tell you total energy content. Okay, who has more energy? Okay, so you can see the first staircase is reactant, second staircase is product. So you can see which staircase is higher or lower, reactant. So total energy content of reactants is more than total energy content of product. So these are 3 information you can get from energy level diagram. So sometimes they'll ask that. Sometimes they just give you energy level diagram. They ask you to get 2 information from there. 3 information from there. So make sure everyone you know what are those informations which can be extracted from your energy level diagram. Okay, these are very straightforward though. Next one. If you having energy profile diagram, so energy profile diagram, what we can analyze, okay? So energy profile diagram, you will see a mountain, yeah? So energy profile diagram, you can find the bond breaking and bond forming. So always remember, in chemistry, they always need to break the bond and form the bond. In chemistry, The chemical substance, they can break the bonds and form the bonds. Huh? Okay, they can break bonds and they can form bonds. Okay, so how to know which energy is more? Breaking bond is more or forming bond is more? Huh? Okay, from the reactant to the highest point, this is bond breaking. Okay, this is bond breaking. And when you want to break the bond, you need to absorb heat. Okay, from the highest point to the product, this is bond forming. Okay, this is bond formation or bond forming. Forming bond release heat. So how to know which energy is more? Breaking bond is more or forming bond? No need to memorize. Look at the length. These two, who is longer? This is longer. So you can say, the heat absorbed during bond breaking is more than heat release during bond forming, okay, or bond formation. Understand? So you don't need to purposely memorize. You can see yourself which one is longer. Then that will be more. Okay? So always remember, breaking bonds absorb heat, forming bond release heat. Okay? So when you have energy profile diagram, you can see bond breaking and bond forming. Okay? And one more thing, the bond breaking energy from here to here, there is another name which is called activation energy. The energy to break the bond, also called activation energy. Yeah, something you learn in Form 4 Chapter 7. Okay, no worry, we will revise on that very soon when we are in Chapter 7, when we start doing revision by next month. Okay, simple as that. So I hope everyone able to recall back energy level diagram, what we can get, energy profile diagram, what we can get from there. Okay, after that, the whole chapter 3 has a lot of calculation, isn't it? The whole chapter 3 only got two formula, Q equal to MC theta, delta H equal to plus minus Q over N. So here there are a few things you must know. I always tell you all, many students, they always use the wrong formula at the wrong time. Okay, so when the question asks for heat, when the question asks for energy, Q. When the question asks heat of something, heat of displacement, heat of precipitation, heat of neutralization, delta H. So make sure you know what they want to find. Okay. And the MC theta, this formula you also learn in physics, but the way we use this formula in physics and chemistry not the same. In chemistry, the mass only refer to the mass of solution. Okay? In physics, we consider the mass for solution and solid, isn't it? But in chemistry, we only consider the mass of solution. Mass of solution same as the volume of the solution, yeah? Okay, so that's the small capital N here stand for mole. So do remember, when you calculate different heat, the mole is different. Example, when you calculate heat of displacement, the mole is what? How many mole of metal you kick off? When you calculate heat of combustion, the mole is how many mole of substance that is burned. When you calculate heat of neutralization, the mole is how many mole of water you have. When you calculate heat of precipitation, what is important? Precipitate. How many mole of insoluble salt? How many mole of precipitate you have? So different heat, the mole is different. But I don't think the calculation is hard because only two formula for you to play around. And when you do calculation, I always mention working. You must write a good working. Write a good, detailed, understandable working to show the examiner. After that, make sure you know the definition for the heat. Again, guys, I am very neutral on definition. If you can memorize definition, I'm very happy. But if you couldn't, never mind. Because I'll be very honest with you. For the entire Form 4 and Form 5, we have about 27 definition. So it's not easy for you to memorize the definition. I know that. Yeah, I know that. And I can think from your perspective one. Okay. And I told you before, right? SPM maximum definition, they ask two every year. Maximum only two. Worst come to worst, you cannot remember any definition, you lose 2 marks only. Okay, lah, not a big deal. Lah. Okay. 2 mark is not a big deal. Okay. So if you can remember definition, I'm very happy. If you cannot, it's okay. Next one, make sure you know how to do the calculation. Okay, which I told you these two formula. Next one, you make sure you know how to predict the heat of neutralization. So heat of neutralization is something they love to ask because there are so many things they can test you on. Okay, heat of neutralization, sometimes they will use different acid strength and different strength, strong and strong, strong and weak, weak and weak, and so on. Okay, 1 minute revision. If I have strong acid and strong alkali, what is the magic number for heat of neutralization? Anyone remember? Strong, strong? Strong acid, strong alkali. What is the heat of neutralization? Okay. So many of you get the answer correctly, but the sign is wrong. Bro, negative 57. The negative need to be there. Negative. If you don't put negative, examiner don't know is endo or exo. Understand? So strong acid and strong alkali, heat of neutralization is negative 57. So whenever you saw negative 57, you know already you have strong acid and strong alkali. So when you have strong acid and weak alkali, weak acid and strong alkali, so the heat of neutralization will be less than 57. Maybe 55, maybe 52, I don't know. So less than 57. So make sure everyone know why. So we learned before why. Okay, how to explain. Okay, so heat of neutralization, sometimes they change basicity. Basicity means monoprotic and diprotic. So if they change the basicity of acid, would it affecting heat of neutralization? No. Okay. No matter you use monoprotic acid or diprotic acid, heat of neutralization is the same. Why? I told you before. When we use diprotic acid, so the H plus is double. So the total heat should double up. But at the same time, when you have more H plus, react with more OH, you produce more water, double. So when the total heat double, the mole double, cut off, the delta H is exactly the same. The heat of neutralization is the same, even though you use a diprotic or monoprotic acid. So we all learned this before. Okay. Next one. Make sure everyone know how to predict the temperature using ice cube theory. So ice cube theory, we learned before, temperature is affected by mole and volume. So mole and temperature is directly proportional. Okay. So when mole double, temperature double. Okay. So mole and volume and temperature is inversely proportional. When volume double, temperature cut by half. Okay. So these are the relationship. Yeah. Sometimes they will use different mole, different volume, and they ask you all to predict the temperature. This is the ice cube theory that we all learned in the last part of your chapter 3. Okay. Finish. So chapter 3, not much. If you compare with chapter 1 and chapter 2, chapter 3 is considered quite short actually. And the questions are very straightforward. When you do chapter 3 question for a while, you can really see that the questions are all repeating, repeating, and repeating. Okay. So guys, let me know in the chat box, are you okay with what are the important things for you to focus on for chapter 3? So chapter 3 is very straightforward. Chapter 3 is really, really straightforward. Okay. Okay. So now let's move on to chapter 4. Let's move on to chapter 4. Okay. Let's move on to chapter 4. Okay. Okay. So chapter 4, I would like to say something which might sound a bit irresponsible. Okay. If any one of you who are extremely weak or who are running out of time, you can ignore chapter 4 actually. Okay, if you don't have enough time lah, or if you are very, very weak, you can just ignore chapter 4. Reason, chapter 4, they don't ask as frequent compared to other chapters. Second, if they ask chapter 4, not many marks also. Not many marks. So worst come to worst. If any one of you here, you need to let go certain chapter from 5, chapter 4 is one of the chapter that you can let go. Worst come to worst, but if you still have time, don't let go lah. Okay, don't let go. Because I say even you start by today, 27th of August, our SPM chemistry writing paper is on 15th of December. The time is enough lah. The time still enough lah. Okay. So I don't know how you think about your timetable lah, but to be honest, your timetable this year quite okay. Okay, maybe you heard from other tuition teacher, otherwise maybe some other tuition teacher, they are along with you, keep on scolding the Ministry of Education. But to be honest, your timetable this year quite okay. To be honest, quite okay, really. Okay. So some of you might say, oh, we have three papers we have three papers, two different subjects in one same day. You are not the first batch. You are not the first batch. Other batches also have the same thing actually. Okay. And you might complain, oh, my bio and my sejarah so near. If you study last minute, of course, it's a problem lah. But if you study earlier, it doesn't make a big difference actually, if you already prepared earlier. Okay? The problem is if you try to study last minute, of course, the time is not enough lah. Okay? Simple as that lah. Because as a person who have seen the timetable for past 20 years, I can tell you your timetable this year quite nice lah. Seriously. Your time, because you cannot compare you saw your own timetable, you thought your timetable is a disaster. You never see other batches one. Your timetable considered quite okay lah. Seriously, really, really okay lah. At least the time is quite sufficient. Yeah. Okay, so next one, chapter 4. So chapter 4 is a very short chapter. I think we spent 3 lessons only in chapter 4 previously. Okay. So chapter 4, make sure you know what is monomer, what is polymer, right? Monomer, they are small and repeating units. Polymer, they are a long, big macromolecule made by many repeated monomers. Make sure everyone know how to classify the polymer. You can classify polymer using the source. What is source? Natural polymer, synthetic polymer, isn't it? Properties, what are the properties of polymer? Thermoplastic, okay, which is flexible, thermosetting, everything set already, elastomer. And I also taught you all right how to use the picture to know they are thermoplastic, thermosetting. So if you look at the picture, they are very messy. So it's thermoplastic. If it's very orderly and you got cross-link, okay, if orderly and cross-link is thermosetting. If the diagram is messy and got cross-link, is elastomer. So all these things, I think I told you before, right? How you look at the pictures, immediately you know that it's thermoplastic, thermosetting, or elastomer lah. Okay, and then we also learned before, right? Thermoplastics, okay, TPN, right? Caroline, poly something, nylon, thermosetting, PM, bakelite, melamine, elastomer, or the rubber. Yeah, so these are some of the examples for your thermoplastic, thermosetting, and also your elastomer. Okay. Okay, so what are the processes to make your polymer? There are 2 processes, addition and condensation. So what is addition? Addition, you must have crab shape, double bond change to single bond, open the arm, isn't it? That is addition polymerization. So another one is called condensation. So condensation, you have 2 different monomer. And if anyone remember what are the slogan for condensation polymerization, you throw something, I throw something, we join together. Yeah, you throw something, I throw something, we join together. So the monomers, they throw something away and they join together. That is called condensation polymer. Condensation polymer focusing on two. One is called nylon, one is called terephthalate. Okay, so all these things we learn. What are the effects of synthetic polymer to the environment? Synthetic polymer, one of the biggest issue is they are non-biodegradable. They cannot decompose naturally. Yeah. So if they go into the drainage, they go into the longkang, they can cause blockage and they can cause flash flood. If they go into the river or ocean, they might be eaten by those animal or any water aquatic life, and they might kill them. Okay. All right. So what is the monomer and polymer for natural rubber? So rubber, the monomer called isoprene. Make sure you know how to draw it. Yeah. What is vulcanization? Vulcanization is a process to make rubber stronger. 1 minute revision. If I want to make rubber stronger, I need to add something into rubber. Who is the something? Vulcanization. What is being added into the rubber, everyone? What is being added to the rubber? Okay, sulfur, sulfur, right? So we add sulfur to the rubber and create sulfur frosting, right? Sulfur frosting make the rubber stronger, harder, more elastic, higher resistant to heat, higher resistant to oxidation. Yeah. So make sure you know how to differentiate vulcanized and unvulcanized rubber lah. Vulcanized rubber got sulfur inside, unvulcanized don't have lah. Vulcanized rubber is much better compared to unvulcanized. So then we also learn about coagulations of latex. What is coagulations? The white color rubber milk, which is latex, sticking together to form white color solid lah. So there are three situations. First one, when the latex exposed to the air for a long period, they will coagulate naturally. When you add acid to latex, they coagulate rapidly, very fast. When you add alkali to the latex, they prevent the coagulations. So when you add acid and alkali to the latex, make sure you use weak acid and weak alkali. Yeah? Don't use strong acid, strong alkali if possible. Okay. Then synthetic rubber is very rare to be tested in SPM, but it's good to know. So synthetic rubber, you don't need to know too many things. You only need to know some basic thing. Example, why they prefer to use synthetic rubber compared to natural rubber. For example, here in Malaysia, even though we are like one of the largest natural rubber producer in the world, okay? But why we still prefer to use synthetic rubber? A few reasons, okay? Number one, natural rubber come from rubber tree, Rubber tree got a few problems. Number one, they might be attacked by diseases. Number two, the weather might affecting the productions of the latex. So if you use synthetic rubber, no problem. Okay, I don't need to bother what is the weather. I don't need to worry about any diseases on the rubber tree, isn't it? Another one more thing, natural rubber, the properties fixed already, so they have limited application. But synthetic rubber, yeah, we have SBR, isn't it? We have SBR, we have nitrile rubber, silicone rubber. So different synthetic rubber have different properties. Okay, we can use different synthetic rubber to produce different rubber products. So more usage lah. Okay, so these are some of the things we need to know. No need to know too many things about synthetic rubber. They don't ask a lot. It's very rare to be tested. And even if they ask, not many marks one. Okay, so far I think synthetic rubber for the past 5 years, maximum marks 3 marks only. I think maximum 3 marks only. So not very important one, to be honest with you. Okay. So that's it. So this is for chapter 4. Yeah. So let me know in the chat box. Are you okay with the important things to be focused on for chapter 4? Okay, so I still want to say the same thing lah. Make good use of this checklist. This checklist will be very, very good for you before or after you finish your revision. You can use this to plan what you want to study, okay, in that particular week, okay? Or you can use this to check after your revision as an active recall, whether you're okay or not okay. Okay, last one, chapter 5. So chapter 5, I don't need to talk too much because we are just in chapter 5 recently. So we spent about 5 lessons in chapter 5. Chapter 5 are very straightforward. Okay, I told you just now. Form 4, chapter 8. Okay, Form 4 last chapter, Form 5 last chapter, they are very straightforward. Okay, so a quick one. So make sure everyone know fat and oil, they are ester. Fat and oil, they are ester. So ester made by carboxylic acid and alcohol. So to make fat and oil, the carboxylic acid is fatty acid. Fatty acid, they are long carboxylic acid. How long? More than 10 carbon. So if the carboxylic acid more than 10 carbon, we call them as fatty acids. We just call them as fatty acids. So to make fat and oil, we need a special alcohol called glycerol. Glycerol is an alcohol which got 3 OH inside. That is glycerol. So no need to purposely memorize. Most of the time, they will give you the diagram, okay? So if they give you the fatty acid, if they give you the glycerol, make sure you know how to draw the fat or oil, okay? So make sure you know how to differentiate fat and oil. So I told you all before, what is the best and the most accurate way to differentiate fat or oil? Look at the physical states. Fat is a solid, okay, at room temperature. Room temperature 25, not 26, not 24, not 27, 25. Okay, so at room temperature, fat is a solid, oil is a liquid. So what is the use of fat and oil in your life? Okay, so fat and oil can use as energy source, yeah, can use to absorb vitamin and so on. Okay, and if you take too many fats and oil, that's a problem, right? It will cause obesity. You take too many saturated fat, it will increase the cholesterol in your blood. So when the cholesterol will deposit on the in the artery, so then it will cause your blood vessel to narrow and cause blockage. So all these things we learned before. Okay. So cleaning agents got soap and detergent. Yeah, soap is sabun, sabun and detergent. So make sure everyone know to make sabun, you need saponification. So saponification, you take fat or oil, mix with a strong alkali. So you will get your soap. Soap is a type of salt, and glycerol. Okay, make sure everyone know that. So soap, make sure you know you need to get the name for 12 carbon, 16 carbon, and 18 carbon. Okay, 12 carbon, what is it? Okay, so 16 carbon, what is it? 18 carbon, what is it? Example, 16 carbon, palmitate, yeah. So 18 carbon, 1 minute revision. What's the name, everyone? 18 carbon. Anyone remember? If the sabun got 18 carbon, what is the name? Anyone remember that? 18 carbon is stearate. Stearate. So make sure everyone know how to get the name for your soap. Okay. So the name of detergent not important. Okay. They in SPM they are very biased. They ask soap much more than detergent. Okay. So make sure you know how to explain the cleansing action step by step. How the soap and detergent do the cleaning for you. Okay. So soap and detergent dissolve in water, reduce the surface tension of water so the water can make the clothes wet easily. Yeah. Soap ion got hydrophilic, hydrophobic part. Which part soluble in water, which part soluble in grease, and so on. The explanation. So how to differentiate soap and detergent? Look at it. Soap ion, long tail, COO minus, detergent, long tail, SO3 minus. Okay, so that is how you differentiate soap and detergent. Soap made from fat or oil, detergent made from petroleum. So all these things we learned before. Okay. How to compare the effectiveness of cleansing actions in soft water and hard water. So hard water got calcium and magnesium. Okay. So soap is less effective in hard water. Yeah. Detergent, wonderful. Any water also can. Detergent works really well in soft water and hard water. Why? Scum, isn't it? So we learned that soap ion can combine with magnesium and calcium ion to form insoluble salt, which is scum. Detergent, when they combine with calcium and magnesium, they form soluble salt. They form soluble product, so no scum. Okay? So for detergent, sometimes they add additive. They add something extra. We focus in biological enzyme. So there are many, but there are many detergent additive, as you all can see in your textbook. But we're focusing on biological enzyme. When you add enzyme to detergent, they can help you to remove protein stain, the food stain even better. Okay. Then we learn about food additive and the function, right? Food additive, what we have? Preservative, antioxidants, okay? Stabilizer, emulsifier, thickeners, dyes, yeah, all these things, flavorings, all these things we learn about it, and also their function. Okay, so make sure you know some of the example for food additive. Example, nani, okay, sorry, soni, sodium nitrate, sodium nitrile, preserved meat and sausages, bans, benzoic acids as a sodium benzoate preserving the sauce, something like that. Yeah. CAT, cats, okay, citric acid, ascorbic acid, tocopherol, antioxidant. Yeah, these are some of it. Then recently we learned about medicine, traditional medicine and modern medicine. So traditional medicine has less side effect, but it takes a longer time to heal. Modern medicine has more side effect, but is faster, okay, to heal. So traditional medicine, we focus on ginger, aloe vera, and garlic. So make sure you know for ginger and aloe vera, how to use it and what symptoms can be treated. So ginger, we boil the water and drink the water, right? Aloe vera, cut the leaf, extract the gel, and apply the gel on affected area. Yeah. So what symptoms they can treat? Always write mainstream answer. I think I told you all before. Sometimes when you write correct answer, doesn't mean you can score. If your answer is correct, but it's not a marking scheme answer, they don't give you the mark. So for ginger, the mainstream answer is what? Okay, expel the wind, remove the wind from body. That's the best answer for ginger. Aloe vera, you can say skin disease or to help the wound to recover faster. Okay. Modern medicine, yeah, we have analgesics, which is painkiller, antimicrobial, yeah, psychotic drugs, anti-allergies, and steroid. Why we must finish the antibiotics? We must kill all the bacteria. If bacteria survive, they become immune. They become resistant to antibiotics. So you need a higher dosage to kill the bacteria if the disease recur. Yeah. Then recently, in our last lesson, okay, we learned about cosmetic, right? Cosmetic. So cosmetic, we have makeup cosmetic, treatment cosmetic, fragrance. Okay, so we have basic ingredients, seven basic ingredients to make cosmetic product. If you cannot remember this, is okay one. Sometimes there are all some common sense. If you cannot remember, just don't feel bad about it. Okay. So there are some harmful ingredients in cosmetic, focus in mercury and tretinoin. Mercury, what are the keywords we're looking for, everyone? Number one, kidney. When there is kidney or the nervous system damage, mercury. Tretinoin is redness in skin or peeling skin. The skin peel off, tretinoin. Then nanotechnology, very rare to be tested in exam, 1 nanometer to 100 nanometer. Okay. So, and how to use nanotechnology in cosmetic, medicine, agriculture, all the things this. Okay. So this is something you can read yourself, not much one actually. Okay. That's it. So I don't think it's very hard actually. Yeah. So a quick summary, what we are doing today. So today I'm not really teaching you anything. I'm not really trying to teach you anything, any part of chapter of Form 5. We just do a quick summary. What are the important things? And I just show you that sometimes the question is easy, but just because we don't write a proper keywords, we lose the mark. Okay, just because sometimes we misunderstood some concept, we lost the mark. Okay, so that's why I believe that many of you, the theory is quite okay already. So for now, it's really for you the time to, okay, really do some active recall to check what you have learned so far and to practice, okay, on the exercises. I think this is something that you might be missing, and everything start from a good planning. Guys, you have time one. The time still sufficient. Even you start today, even not today lah. Today go to sleep lah. Even you start tomorrow, the time still sufficient one as long as you plan. So at least I hope if any one of you never have timetable one, at least I hope some of you can try to do it lah. Of course, there is no perfect timetable one. Don't looking for something perfect one. So at least you create something first, a timetable, you try to follow. When you do the timetable, along the way, you can adjust accordingly one. You will find, hey, this timetable, if I set 2 hours to study, too long, I cannot focus. It's okay one. You can cut short the time one. You always can increase or decrease the time accordingly. Depends on how you feel during the study. Yeah, because there is no perfect method in the world. Okay, you shouldn't looking for perfect method. You should look for the method that suit you the most. Yeah, most importantly, choose something that is suitable for you. Yeah, for me, as long as you do something, okay, it's better than you not starting at all lah. Okay, you do a bit. All the small thing you add up together, you will see quite a big improvement one. Okay, and recently I got a few messages which I'm quite happy. Okay, for me, if you send me recently quite a lot of students send me and tell me about their trial exam result, which I'm very happy lah. Okay, for me, if you get 99 marks, I'm really happy for you. But the one that make me feel happier is for those who never pass one. Like I got some students. There's one student only scored 9 marks previously in midterm exam. This year, score 9 marks. Now come to trial exam. Okay, he scored 52 marks. What an improvement, 9 marks to 52 marks. What an improvement. Okay, you might think, not even an A. A is not everything, lah. A is not everything. It's really about, making progress. As long as you are making progress, as long as, okay, you are better than yesterday, you are better than last week, you are better than last month. As long as you are making some small progress, that's good enough. What? That's good enough. Okay. So I don't want you to judge yourself that only straight A is everything. Only getting A minus, A plus, A solid is everything. Not really. Yeah. I won't judge you by A, and I hope you don't also set the same standard on that. Okay. A is not everything. For me, it's really about the journey. Okay, the journey that you constantly push yourself, that you never give up, that you keep trying and trying and trying. Okay, for me, this is what matter the most. Okay, so I hope today's session I really meant to give you a direction. Okay, I hope at least if you are so lost, you don't know what to do previously, at least you have some direction, at least you know roughly what you can do, yeah, and start doing it, something like that. Okay, So thank you so much to stay until the end. So if you are joining me in the Form 4 revision, yeah. So I'm going to start the Form 4 revision by next week. Okay. So we will do about 12 lessons for Form 4 revision. Okay. So after we finish the Form 4 revision, I will have one session to talk about your Amali. No worry on your Amali. So guys, for me, I will say something that sounds really bad. For me, Amali is rubbish lah. For me, Amali is completely rubbish one. It beat the purpose already. Why? You will know exactly what will be tested on Amali before you even entering the lab. It means nothing one. Okay? That's why I told you, you can, all the tips never accurate one, except Amali. Amali, the tips is very, very accurate. Yeah. So most of the time, before you enter the hall, you know exactly what will be tested in Amali. And I'll run through one session with you all on Amali at the end of our revision. I'll have one session to tell you exactly so-called the lead question, what will be tested, okay, how to answer the paper. Yeah. For me, it's okay, but for me, I'm quite neutral one. Because even you know the tips for Amali, you can score 15 out of 15, but it means nothing if your paper one and paper two are bad. It means nothing. Even you score full mark for Amali, but if your paper one, paper two is terrible, it is still terrible one. It's as simple as that. Okay? So I think that's all for today. I hope you gain something from today's sessions because I don't know your expectation for today's session. I don't know. Yeah. I hope somehow I fulfill some of your expectation. I hope that. Yeah. So if everything goes well, I'll see you again in the next lesson with our Form 4 revision. Okay. See you then, everyone. Good night.